Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to day 2 / part 2 of our LAMMA Show 2023 coverage. And to kick things off, well, we are on the Deutz-Fahr stand, and I'm now joined by Mr. David Jefferson from the manufacturer, who is going to talk us through this latest product. So, David, for a kick-off, I mean, what is it? What model is this on that you've brought out?
Well, this is the new 6150.4 RV shift. So it's a totally new tractor for us. It's with the new farm motion engine, the 3.9 litre, and it's available between 130 and 156 horsepower.
Right, got you. So how many models will be in the range in this family?
There's three models in power size, and available in RV shift transmission, as we're talking here, or as the TTV version.
Right, so these 3 new models that you've got, these 4 cylinders, whereabouts in the Deutz-Fahr family do they sit?
They sit between what you tried earlier on in the year, or later last year, the RV shift 6135C.
Right.
So they go up to 135 horsepower. And this is now going from 130 horsepower up to 156 horsepower. And it sits below the larger 6 Series range that we have that have the RC shift transmission.
Right. So, back to this tractor then. You mentioned you got a couple of transmission options. Just talk us through those and what's involved with them.
So we got the RV shift here, which is a full power shift concept, 20 sequential gear steps, all spread out, and the ability to use them in either a manual system or a automatic system. Yeah. And literally a very simple joystick controller. The operator interface is so simple. Tap the gear lever forward to go up the gears, or pull it back to come down the gears.
Nice and simple.
Nice and simple.
And this RV shift, this is pretty much exactly the same concept as we tried out, like you say in that previous video that
Absolutely, we've done. Yes.
Right.
The same transmission, although we've got a larger rear axle, a heavier rear axle here, can have up to 9-ton rear lift on this tractor if you wish.
9 tons on this?
Yes.
Big nose weight.
Yes, you would probably want to add a little bit on the front
a little
as well.
bit on the nose, yeah. Right, and then the other transmission option that you've got in this, what's that?
Is our CVT version, the TTV.
Right, so you go on the full
that's
CVT.
Full CVT, yes.
Right, and is that one your own CVT
yeah,
in this?
we make everything here. Everything you see here, we make.
Right, this is thoroughbred.
Front axle, engine, transmission, rear axle, the cab. Everything is made.
This is a pure Deutz-Fahr tractor?
Yeah, pure.
And then cab-wise, if you just slide back here a little bit, cab-wise, it'll share the same cab as some of your other models, will it? Or?
The cab is, I'll say similar, because there are some subtle differences, right. But from what's come from all our bigger tractors, from our 6 Series, 7 Series, 8 Series,
yeah,
you know, it is the same cab frame, just dressed a little bit differently inside.
Got you. Right, so we go around the back and have a look there, see what's going on.
We've got, on this one, a split on spool valves. So we've got 2 mechanical valves on this side, and we have 2 electrical valves on here.
Okay.
So you've got, I refer to it as a hybrid valve setup. So some people who want to work something mechanically, they can, or they can use the electronic valves.
Yeah.
And the electronic valves has got some switches inside where you press the button, and it can be going from working the rear valves to working the front linkage.
Just like divert it to the front.
Or if you had a front loader, a different combination of buttons, and you have it on working the loader as well.
Right, and as well as this layout that you've got, electrical on that side and mechanical on that, could you have all electric or all mechanical? Or...
Yes.
Right.
Short answer, yes.
Short answer, yeah, right.
Yeah, you can see this tractor is equipped with Isobus. It can be full up with smart farming, with steering systems and guidance systems.
So everything that your bigger tractors have got, basically.
It's all filters down across here.
Well, David, thank you very much for your time.
No problem.
Nice little flavour of your new product, and as ever, can't wait to try it out.
Okay.
Got to try it out, aren't we? There we go. Cheers.
Cheers, thank you.
Okay, as we continue our international journey in LAMMA 2023, we have now landed in Sweden. More specifically, we've landed on the Vaderstad stand, and here to tell me about what's new at LAMMA 2023 with Vaderstad is Andy Gamble, the UK sales and marketing man. How are you, sir?
Not too bad, thank you.
Andy, what's new? Show us.
Well, we've got four new products, 1 new part. The first machine we've got is the Carrier 725.
Right.
This complements the range we've got at the moment, which is 4 metre up to 6 metre, so that's now extending us to 7.25 metres.
Brilliant, yeah.
So that's new. We're moving on to the Cultus HD 425. This is actually a full new product.
Right.
This is we've had a Cultus 3 metre before.
Right.
This is now a heavier duty version, so it's got a larger, a narrower tine spacing, increased strength on the retractable legs, because
right.
automatic retractable legs, and it's got a new feature called dynamic control at the back.
Right. Explain dynamic control to us real quick.
So dynamic control on the smaller machines, the levelers on the back, which level the soil from behind the tine, they're used to by manual adjusters.
Right.
This machine now, if you adjust the depth on the move, the dynamic control will use this ram to adjust the levelers as you go along, so it'll maintain that level finish behind the machine.
Right, so, and that's just control from inside the cab?
Inside, as you're driving inside the cab, if you want to lower in a patch where you think it needs to go deeper, instead of lowering the machine and adjusting the levels, you just lower the machine, the levels will adjust with it.
Right, that's cool,
so nice
isn't it?
And simple.
A nice, and this is kind of a traditional cultivator, but with a little additional feature in.
Yes, yeah, and it's a heavy duty, so the larger farmers who are struggling to get machines into gateways because they've got narrow roads, they want to mount a machine. It allows them now to have a mounted heavy-duty cultivator and not have to rely on smaller machines.
Awesome. Right, what have we got here, sir?
This is the Carrier XT. The Carrier XT has been about as a mounting machine quite some time, but we've now converted it so this can be a trail machine.
Right.
Obviously, we've had the classic Carrier in the past, and we still do.
Which is a very, very popular
tool. The advantage of this one now is it allows you to still use the 450 disc instead of the XL, which is the 510 size disc.
Right, okay.
We can use the standard classic Carrier disc, but then give the option of different rollers,
right?
Option of different front tools, vertical folding, transport wheels at the back, which means you can now in the field lift it up and reverse in corners, which the other Carriers you couldn't because they were always on the floor.
Right.
So that has been a nice added feature to our machine.
So this is a new. So basically, you've got all the good features of the Carrier, but it's now more versatile.
Yeah, more versatile. So a traditional Carrier user had a crossboard. With this machine, you can add crossboard, straw harrow, or crosscutter knife and change them if you want to, whereas in the original machine, you could only stick the crossboard in.
Brilliant.
So it's give the versatility with one machine.
Absolutely awesome. Right, what else have we got, sir?
Then we've got the Innovation Award, Silver Award winner for 2023 for LAMMA. This is called Proceed. This is still you've probably heard about it.
Yes, we have. I actually saw it in Europe working, didn't I, last year?
Proceed is a concept where we're going to be able to offer a drill that can precisionally drill corn.
Right.
Obviously, you know, with normal drills like Rapid and Spirit, still a very successful and competitive drill, but obviously with input costs going up,
right.
This allows us to now precisionally drill the corn so we don't have any waste, so we can get a seed reduction probably nearly down to 30%. Possibly.
Now, and what's the technology called that you use? Is it not precision drill in the common sense of precision drills? Is it like seed counting?
Yeah, basically this is the tempo, which we've been very successful with maize and beet, but obviously with the tempo machine, then it goes down to row spacing of 500 or 750.
Right.
This machine now with a double bank of them, using the central fill system, which we've had on the big Tempo L's, we've got now row spacing of 250, 500, 750, or we can either have 225 and 450.
So basically what we've got here is two tempos.
Two tempos,
wow.
Obviously a bit more in it than that.
Well, yeah, understand the technology behind it's going to be a little bit
but
more.
Then precisionally drilling corn obviously means we can reduce the input costs with having reduced seed rates, probably reduce fertilisers. Row spacing of 250 allows future proofing of inter-row weeding maybe and things like that.
Okay.
It can do all seeds now from maize, beet, rape, corn, any peas, all with one drill.
So you can cover
seed,
everything?
Every seed. It can do ploughing to direct min-till because of the pressure we can have on the rams with the 350 kilo pressure up to, so it can be direct to min-till to ploughing.
So basically it's a one-stop drill for all types of drilling, all types of seed.
Yeah.
Awesome. So what else have we got, sir?
Then we go to the component.
Right,
the last thing
over here, right.
For a number of years we've been selling cross-cutter disc.
Which I can remember being at the launch many years ago,
And if no one knows, cross-cutter disc is this allows a carrier like this to work down to 3 centimetres and still completely cut all the soil.
Yes.
Some situations on dry conditions, heavy soils, it's hard for a disc that size to penetrate. So we've come with cross-cutter disc aggressive, which has got true cut notches in it, which allows them to penetrate better. And they, instead of having one paddle at 110 mil scraping the soil, you have two sections scraping and creating fractures, so it allows to get into heavier conditions and still do the job of a cross-cutter.
So this would be suitable for following maize or something like that, when you've got big stalks or
it's
things?
It's to break down, also a normal corn, because it's, it germinates weeds very successfully, because it only germinates the soil you're going to move with a drill. And with a cross-cutter, it throws the soil upwards, and doing that allows the heavy soil to fall first, the weed seeds tickle on the top, and it presses it in, and you've got your perfect weed seed bed, so you can then spray or mechanically weed afterwards to create a stale seed bed.
Wow. Well, folks, there you've had it. You've heard it from the man himself at Vaderstad UK. Andy, thank you very much for giving us a whistle-stop tour of what's going on at Vaderstad.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, I kind of feel like I'm stood at the doorway of a brothel. I kind of know what I want, but I don't know where to start. We are on the Krone UK stand. It is Mr. Craig Bryson, who you all know and love from some of our previous videos. Not least, the last video we did just before Christmas in 2022 was all about this new GX wagon, trailer, whatever you want to call it. So what we're going to do today, we're going to have a quick bash round the Krone UK stand. They've got loads, I mean it's massive, couple of football pitches at least, loads of products on here. But what we're going to do, we're going to look at 3 or 4 products, 3 new sort of new developments, new launches, kind of things like that, this one included. So here we go, let's get stuck into it, Craig. So this one, give us some headline figures on this one.
Yeah, this is the GX 440 multi-purpose trailer. It's the smaller model of the two, so there's a 440, then there's a 520.
This is baby one.
It's the little one, yeah.
Baby triaxle.
Baby triaxle trailer.
Right.
Yeah, it's the first time it's been on show in the UK, so yeah, it's great to be here. It's had a lot of views over the past day and a half so far, so it's yeah, it's good really.
That's it, and just talk us through some of the key features of this, because it's, as we found in that video that we did before, it's got quite a few nice things on it.
It's more than your average trailer. So yeah, you've got the hydraulic sides, so each side independently lifts and lowers, changes the height by 680 millimeters. So it's a belt and fabric floor, which basically pulls the headboard forward, so it's not a push-off trailer.
Right, so the headboard moves with the floor.
Yep, so the load's really getting
carries the load out.
Carried off rather than pushed off. So you can do anything from rapeseed, forage crops, potatoes, sugar beet, anything you want really.
That's it, and with those hydraulically adjustable sides, it means you can have nice and low for grain or whatever. And then
if you're loading with toe tip buckets or elevators, whatever you want, it's very adaptable. I think to design it to do everything you want it to do really.
That's it.
And then you've got the award-winning Krone Exact Unload, so it's like so you basically tell it input into the box the length of area you want to tip the load across, and that gives you a target speed to drive through.
Right, so you can set off at the back of a silage clamp.
Yep.
If you know that length, that's your target unload speed. And
does it all the way to the front, as long as you don't tip it in against the wall. So fuck rate man might get a bit upset.
Oh, don't worry about them, they're always upset.
Drying floors, or if you're tipping meat on a concrete pad, it just takes a bit of the potential operator out of it.
That's it. So we won't dwell on this too much, because like I say, we've done this product to death in a previous walk around video. Although saying that though, I think we do need to see it in the field at some point.
Yep.
Right, so moving on, your next novelty.
So around here we've got the Varipack 190 XC Plus. I think we talked a bit about that last year. So it's a belt baler we released a couple of years ago now.
How's it been going?
Really well, to be fair. The few we've got out in farms have been going really well. A lot of talk about it, a lot more demos to do with dealers this summer coming. So yeah, it's been a good
Have you had it in
product.
a few different crops now?
Yeah, it's done bits and bobs of all sorts now. It's been in and out of grass, hay, straw. It's performs well.
Good stuff. And obviously, once you've baled, I believe a new addition in the family, the trail wrapper.
Yeah, so we brought on the trail wrapper. I think we've seen last year we had the mounted wrapper in May, which is it's over there somewhere, but we've got the new trail wrapper. That's the 165T twin arm satellite wrapper. It does 40 RPM. It'll handle bales up to 1,700 kilos. she's
Can
fairly
you make
stuffy.
1700 kilo?
Oh, we could try.
I would do, yeah.
But yeah, it's fairly stuffy built, fully automatic. So when you pull in the field, hit the field mode button, all unfolds, ready to receive the first bale. And it can be as automatic or as manual as you want it to be. You can do a full load, wrap, unload sequence, or you can dial that back and do it yourself if you want.
Yeah, or like semi-automatic.
Yeah, if it's steep land, you can manually tip. You can get a bale tipper as well for the back to turn the one to the ends. But yeah, it's fast, 40 RPM twin satellite.
All right, getting on.
It's not long wrapping a bale.
No.
So. Yeah, it's been a good addition. We had a couple out on trial this summer with a couple of select customers. And it went very well, really.
It's kind of what you needed to sort of complete the family almost, wasn't it?
Just had to complete the circle. And the mounted ones went well as well. We've done a good few of them out, but the trailed ones got quite a lot of interest in this.
Yeah.
It's good.
Cool stuff. Right, moving on. I feel a bit like Challenge Annika. Right, moving on. Where is this folding mower?
We'll get over here.
Folding front mower, I should say.
The world's first folding front mower.
Folding front mower. Now, when you say folding, what's folding?
So basically, you're outside, 2 discs on each side, fold round behind.
So this section here,
that section there folds round behind.
Those 2 discs.
Yeah.
Round it swings, and they go completely behind the bed, do they?
And that brings it into 3 metres transport width.
Right. So what's mowing width, cutting width?
So you're 4 metres.
Right. So what was the idea behind this then?
A couple of ideas. So to increase your front mower overlap, to run in conditioner, to run in combination with triple mowers in the back.
Yeah.
Obviously, getting bigger tractors now. You put a big tractor with 710s on the front. They're sitting the best part of 3 metres. So you're very limited to how much you can turn without.
Well, that's it. As soon as you start turning, you're soon running over crop, aren't you?
Yeah. So to alleviate that a bit, and then in Germany quite a lot. We could do it in the UK too. It's for zero grazing. So you can take a 4 metre pass off the field, less runs over the field with your forage wagon. Just simple job then.
That's it. So with a set of butterfly mowers behind this, with its extra width, presumably it'll be quite good in the corners as well, because you'll be able to turn fairly sharply before you start missing.
You've got a lot more turn. Yeah, I mean your first turn round when you're doing 90 degrees, it's not.
Yeah, you'll still miss a bit,
but that's common sense. But if you're a nice curve in a field of your second time round, you've got a good bit of overlap there.
And then once you're into the straights, you could really push those rears out.
Yeah, and you can drive out with confidence that you're cutting everything.
Yeah.
It does a really good job, to be fair. And even when they designed this mower, cameraman's moved around here, but we'll catch up. We've had to specially design a new conditioner gearbox, which is extremely slimline, so that we could get the widest possible conditioner.
Right.
Just to save that bottlenecks of.
I was going to say, so you're not bringing it far too much that way.
Yeah, so to give the crop as much chance as it's got to get in and out and get conditioned.
That's it. Headstock and suspension, is that bespoke to this as well?
This is bespoke to this, so it's actually a push mower, but just on a headstock, as you'll see.
All right.
But we've had to put the headstock in to move the mower further forward to allow for
because of this coming back around.
You've designed the bed gearbox here, so the folded section's actually always in mesh with gears, so it's always in contact. So bed drives comes out to here, goes up, across, and then back down.
Yeah. Right, shall we go straight to the headline act?
Yeah, we'll go to the big X,
which is the new 980.
Yeah.
So you got the new 980, have you got a 1080?
There's a 1080 and then the 1180, so just to fill in some gaps, because before there was, quite a big horsepower gap from an 880 to an 1180. There was a few bits missing.
It was kind of the mindset, if you're going to go big, you're going to properly go big.
For the 980, so it's same V12 Libre block as we use on the 1180, so it's basically our entry level V12.
Right.
So right in the 980 horsepower bracket. Never had a machine in that bracket before. As I said, we had the 880, which was the largest V8.
Yeah.
And it was the jump all the way to an 1180 V12, so just filling in that gap in the middle.
Right. And is there a demand for this size of Forager, the 980, the 1080?
We've got quite a few sold already to come. Season coming, we've done a few, so it's been ideal, really.
Right.
Because you're getting a few customers now that they maybe running a 780 and they want a little bit more, but they don't maybe want to go all the way
Yeah,
to
1180. 1180 is just too much, isn't it?
massive jump
Yeah.
and output, so it's an ideal place really. And
Right.
a lot of operators now want to run a V12 block, so we've just ticked all the boxes with this
That's
one.
it. Good stuff. Well, Craig, once again, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Absolutely spot on that.
Okay, no problem.
One of the star attractions here at LAMMA 2023 is this beautifully restored 1994 John Deere 6800 tractor. Now the tractor's being featured by Lynx Engineering Limited on their stand here, and I'm standing with Manager Director Nick Eubank, who's going to explain to me exactly why they've restored the tractor and why it's here today. Nick, thank you very much for having us here.
Thank you.
Tell me about what's going on here today.
What we've done is we were coming up to our 30th anniversary.
Right.
And last year we decided what can we do to feature our products but also celebrate being in business for 30 years.
Right.
So we decided that let's see if we can find a tractor almost 30 years old, and the John Deere 6000 series was one of the feature tractors for us.
Back in the day.
And we started, or our business mainly started with the front linkage and PTO system from Zoidberg. So we decided, let's have the tractor and then feature all the products on it.
So now you guys fitted this front linkage system on the original ones that were shown at the Smithfield Show, correct?
At the Smithfield Show in '93, yes.
Yeah. Absolutely super. So you are still the main importer of
We are the main
Zoidberg
importer for Zoidberg. This is sort of the latest design of this tractor, of this linkage and PTO system, and then has override protector on in the front of it.
Right, excellent. So what other features do we have here? I notice you've got a loader on this tractor. Tell us about this loader.
This is the Stoll loader. We've been the importer for Stoll for 28 years. This loader is the latest design FZ Profiline loader system for Stoll. We have had it coloured in the original colourway, yes, back in '94.
So this is how it would have appeared on the tractor in '94 when it was debuted?
Yes, so yellow bucket, black loader, yellow decals, and that's a nod to the past.
A nod to the past in celebration of the 30th anniversary.
Yeah.
So while we're here then, let's have a little look. What else do we have on this tractor that you're featuring here today?
On the tractor, since we've got front linkage and PTO system, which if we're using a mower on the front can cause a lot of problems with dust coming into the front, we have a reverse drive fan system. So this fan will allow the radiators to be blown out, and automatically it's all programmed. Once you switch it on in the field, it will automatically reverse itself every half an hour.
I guess it's blade pitch, is it?
Blade pitch that changes the, instead of sucking, completely reverse the airflow.
Yeah, absolutely wonderful. Yeah.
In the cab, we've got proportional electronic joystick, which is controlling the loader. So latest technology with that, and that gives us proportionality, but also gives us speed. We can change the speed at which this loader moves and its sensitivity.
Right. Now, what have we got at the rear of the tractor? Because you guys also are involved with Dramone pickup hitches, aren't you?
We are, and at the rear we have the original pickup hitch.
That would have come on the tractor at the time.
Which would have come on the tractor, which Dramone was the factory fit at the time. And we actually removed this pickup hitch, took it back to Dramone. Dramone actually refurbished the whole pickup hitch. They don't make this pickup hitch anymore,
right.
So they refurbished it for us, which and then we've refitted it all back to the tractor.
Now, the tractor, you restored it, at Lynx Engineering, you guys restored it,
yes.
You painted it?
Yeah, it started off as we said, as find a tractor for putting our equipment onto,
right.
But once we got the tractor, we found it, and then we noticed a few problems with it and started to get more and more into it. Ended up with a complete restoration right down to everything out of it, and then rebuild it, and it was only finished last week.
Crikey, talk about
So
in the nick of time.
it was at the end. Yeah.
All I have to say to you is what a very worthy and wonderful way of celebrating 30 years in the business.
Yeah.
And it just shows it's not all about being brand new here at LAMMA. It's also about celebrating your heritage within the industry.
Exactly.
Thank you, sir, very much for giving us some of your time.
Okay. Cheers. Thank you.
Right, ladies and gents, we continue our coverage of the LAMMA Show 2023, and as you can see, we're now on the SMT stand, which is the UK distributor of the Volvo construction equipment, and I'm joined by David Dutton, who's, well, he's going to show off a pair of new Ag-Spec loading shovels.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to look at now. So David, we'll start with this one that we're next to. So which model is this one?
This is the L90H.
Right.
It's the full ag spec pack that we now bring in from factory. So this one's come straight from factory, pretty much as it is. The only thing I've done is added some fancy light bars.
I was going to say, it's looking a bit bling, isn't it?
And then I spoke to the friends at MDE, and we basically got them to paint up the push off on the butt brake ready to match my bars. So
it's good to go, isn't it? It is ready to go, yeah.
Both machines that we're going to look around anyway today are for our demo fleet this year. So these will be rolling out around the country on demos available for anyone.
Put my name on one.
Yeah.
Put my name on one.
So yeah, I mean, the L90 basically it's 186 horsepower. We've got
six cylinder in this one.
Yeah. It's 50k transmission. It's torque lockup. It's everything that we know.
How many speed transmissions in this one?
4 in this 4-speed. But then we've got torque lockup, so it sort of splits it. We have joystick steering,
right?
Which is, if you've never tried joystick steering,
do you know what? I haven't.
It is phenomenal.
I've been told it's a bit of a revelation.
Yeah, it's a game changer.
Yeah.
Full stop. I mean, you will never get out of a cab. You get out of a cab, and normally you're lock to lock all day long. It's knackering.
That's it.
With this, you get out and you just sat in an armchair,
just giving a bit of that.
Just bit of that.
So, you say it's got torque lockup. Is that torque lockup in all gears?
Yeah,
right.
First gear. So, I'd say you'll also notice we've got an ag sticker on the roof.
Yeah.
Basically, it's a multitude of options altogether. So, torque lockup, reverse fan, things like that that we need in ag.
Is this all part of the Ag-Spec package
then? Yeah, it's all part of the Ag-Spec package, but also the most important bit is what Volvo have done is developed the software package basically for our transmission and driveline.
Right.
So that fundamentally our drivelines, our axles, the Volvo axles, transmissions, whatever, that the heavy duty.
Yeah, too right.
We're designed in forestry and logging and quarries and recycling and all that type of stuff where they get abused. So we know they're strong, we know they're brilliant.
Yeah.
Where we lacked was the way that the transmission sequence worked, because obviously for ag, we're always focused before on the main fuel efficiencies and things like that. But when we're pushing up a pit, we need it to start in first gear and lock up straight away and be able to change. And so that's the main difference with the ag side, is just the way that the gearbox
right. So
works.
it's characteristics basically, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
So this new set of characteristics, probably more aggressive, is it for agriculture?
It's one way of putting it, but it's more. It's actually just about how it handles itself on the pit and how it sort of pushes up. We've got all the buttons are just where you need them. As far as your hands, we can lock ourselves into gear. We can do anything you want.
So they're like this.
Just there, just moving your wrists. Like down to we've got electric joysticks in both of them. We can control the sensibility of them, so how sensitive they are, what that looks like.
Literally customise it to the nth degree to what you want.
To get it right it's more for the application, you know. So depending on what you're doing, you can sort of tweak it and change it to get it right for you.
And this ag package, does it all come from factory?
Yeah. I'd say this one's come as it is, as it sits right now, straight from factory.
So Volvo are really getting sort of serious about the ag market, because once upon a time ago, and it wasn't just you guys, there was a lot of the construction guys, Ag-Spec meant you stuck some ag tyres on it, and that was about it really. But now you guys are actually a bit more serious about this. Let's give them a full package.
Another thing to note with the Volvo, where we're really strong, is with actually our linkage, so our loader linkage. So we have something called a TP linkage. It's renowned for Volvo. It's Volvo patented.
Yeah.
Now, why that's so good is it was actually developed for the logging industry.
Right.
Right, and it was actually when...
Which isn't known for being gentle.
No. And it was for strength on curlback.
Yeah.
So imagine when a logging wagon comes in and you got a log grab.
Yeah.
Basically, they were going over, grabbing the logs, lifting up, and they couldn't crowd back, the power with a log full. So basically, Volvo set to many years ago and developed this linkage to be able to power the crowd back fundamentally. So we've got the power in the linkage. It's a torque parallel linkage, so it's a parallel linkage, but with the benefit of the torque. And if you look at the steel and the quality of it,
that's it. Yeah,
you can take a beating.
You're known for it, I think. Yeah. So, moving on to the bigger brother, and while we just wander over here, this new software for the Ag-Spec package, is that something you could switch between going from sort of like ag mode to more, I don't know, materials handling? No,
it doesn't quite do it like that. No.
Right.
No, but yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, it is from factory like that, Ag-Spec.
Yeah.
Right, so on to the bigger brother, which is, what's this one? This is an
L110H.
Right, so how many donkeys have we got under there?
This is 260 horsepower.
Right.
Weighs about 20 tonne.
Yeah, so this one's about 20 tonne. What was the other one?
That one's about 15 and a half, 16, depending on spec.
Yeah.
So, as again, you'll see me fancy light bars.
I've got to say, you've gone... All your trailer drivers are going to notice that, aren't they? Anyone walking around the yard's not going to miss it, are they?
You can't miss it. Yeah.
They'll see you coming anyway, put it that way.
Again, this has got, in the cab, it's identical joystick steering, electric servo.
It's same cab and same cab frame.
Same cab frame. The only difference is this one's got what we call a co-pilot. So the reverse camera's on there, we can have onboard weighing, you get the weather on it, you can write notes, calculator, there's all sorts of bits and pieces on a tablet that's in the cab with it. That's pretty much the only difference, other than the fact it's a lot bigger. It's a lot
bigger, more power.
Yeah,
what about gearbox in this one?
Volvo driveline. Yeah. Always Volvo driveline.
6-speed power shift in this, is it? Or
yeah, same scenario, but then this has got the Volvo Penta engine in as well. So,
right.
Yeah, she's
What capacity would that one be? The engine in this?
That's a D8 in that.
Right.
Yeah. So she's I love this thing. Be brutally honest.
Well, on that note,
to be honest, it looks awesome.
Do you want some alone time?
Yeah,
with it?
Honestly.
To be fair, I actually want some alone time with it.
Yeah.
Seriously, stick me down for a demo, because we need to have a bash at this. It's been a long time since I've had a go on a Volvo, and I remember, I mean, this is going back 10 years. I remember first thing that always hits you with the Volvo machines, quality.
Yeah.
The finish.
Yeah.
And the build.
Yeah.
It's just. Yeah, it's a bit nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
exactly,
right, we look forward to that.
All right.
Basically, thank you very much for your time. It's been absolutely spot on, that.
Brilliant.
Good stuff. Right, ladies and gentlemen, as you may be able to tell, we are now on the Fleetguard stand, and I am joined by Anne Woods from the manufacturer, who is going to talk about what they are showing off today. So we'll start with just that. I mean, just talk us through some of the products that you've got on your stand today.
Well, we've brought our key products for the ag sector because we're at LAMMA, so we focus on the filters that are the most important to the people in the fields. So we've got some pre-air filtration and cabin air, which is really important, for the people in the tractor. That air filtration there, they don't get all the dust into the cabin.
Absolutely, yeah.
Pre-air filtration because of the dusty environment, extra filtration for your engine, so lifespan gets extended, it doesn't get damaged as quickly.
And more efficient as well.
Yes, definitely. And then on the other side, we've got our coolant, which we are focusing on. We want to get the message across, the importance of coolant for your engine, that it's not just an antifreeze, it's a protection of your engine.
Okay.
So it protects against liner pitting, damages, corrosion.
Right.
Choice of correct coolant is very important, so we've created a new flyer to help customers.
I was going to say, because you've got 3 different colours there,
yes.
So what's the actual sort of differences between the coolants?
Color, so the color is just a choice to be able to distinguish between the different
just
types.
So you can...
And each manufacturer has a different color, it's
right.
what they prefer. The red one is our top coolant, so you just put it in, it's lifespan, you don't need to change it, you don't need to test it, you don't need to top it off.
Put that in and forget about it?
Yes.
Right. Presumably that'd be the most expensive one. Yeah.
The blue one is just if you've got aluminum filter heads, anything like that on your engine, you need to go with the blue one,
right?
Because otherwise those might affect it. So we've got a flyer that helps the customers choose which coolant do I need for my engine. So I ask questions about aluminum. Do you want additives? Do you want specific silicates or not, depending what your manufacturer requires of your engine, so they can get to the right coolant.
So you just kind of go through a checklist of your requirements, and then at the end of that,
they can say, okay, that's the coolant I need, I'll order that one, and then they get a choice. They can buy the concentrate and just mix it with water themselves, or they can buy pre-mix.
Right.
We've got the test strips, so we've got a lot of regions in the UK where water is really hard, or a lot of calcium in there.
So that's another thing to be mindful of with coolant, especially when you are mixing it with water.
Yeah, so
the quality of your water.
Yeah, so we've got test strips for water. So you can test the quality of your water before you mix it with any of the coolants. If you do the mixing yourself, or decide, well, I don't want to mix it with the water because the quality is too bad, we'll just buy the premix and that we can just put in ourselves.
That's it. And it's effectively it is a key component.
It is.
Albeit liquid, it is actually an engine component, isn't it?
It is, but it's getting the message across that it's not just antifreeze, so you need to use it throughout the year at any given point in time. You need to be mindful of that, and you need to keep checking it, that you're using the right coolant, that if you're using the pink or the blue ones, you check DCA levels, additives, so you make sure it's up to
And as
quality.
well as just topping up your coolant levels, I mean, apart from this one, do these have lifespans at all? Like, you know when you change an engine oil, you've got to do that regularly. Is that the same with coolant, or is coolant, you just need that one topping up?
Yeah, topping up, or adding just the DCA, so the additives that go in there.
Right.
We have water or coolant filters that have that DCA in there, so it's like the thing you put in your toilet, the little block. There's a little block like that inside the filter, and that will release the DCA over time as the water, the coolant.
So you can kind of re-energize it again, right?
So I just need to keep testing. It could be at some point you need to just drain it and refill it. But most of the time you'll just need to top it up until a certain point of time.
Right, Anne, thank you very much for that. That's been a bloody good education. I like that one, that was good, that. So, yeah, thank you very much for your time. That has been perfect. Thank you.
If you are a subscriber to Land Power TV, you may recognise this man from, there's been a couple of videos before, but you also may recognise a tractor because this is the Valtra Q Series. Now, we had a little sneak preview of it last year, didn't we? This, ladies and gentlemen, by the way, is Mr. Andy Miller. I always really like to say Lord Andy Miller, Valtra.
No, I've just been around a long time, all right.
So, we had a little drive for this earlier in the year. It's a very nice tractor. Tell me where it fits in, because it's your first public viewing, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, basically, we as you say, you had the sneak drive on it. We did the public launch back in September, or virtual launch, as everybody's been doing
at the time,
this is the first event that we've been able to get hit here. We've got a couple on the stand here. There's one in the demo area as well, so it's great that everybody can come and physically touch it as well and feel it. There was a few that came out in the smart tour and be able to get in there. But basically, where the Q fits in is on the top end of the 6-cylinder range. We've always had the T series, which has gone up to sort of 250, 270. But high power to weight ratio, more of a top work sort of tractor. We were looking for that gap between 220, 300, somewhere up there, just over 300 horsepower. Cultivation, arable type tractor, but also smart farming, Lynx technology capable, that will go in and overlap. So we then go from T series, Q in there, and then S series at the top end.
Okay, so it's a slot in between. We're going to come to what's the big part about it in a minute, but besides what I'm going to talk about, but tell me what's different. Is this a hybrid? Is it bits of T? Is it bits of S? I mean, what is it?
No, so basically, the styling and everything you'll see on there, the bit from the T series is the cab.
Yeah.
Okay. What you've got underneath, which we'll come to, I think we'll talk about, is a transmission. That's a variable CVT transmission in there. That's coming from the Agco stable. And we've got a 7.4, which is the same base engine as you have on the T series.
Yes, that's right.
So basically there. Front suspension is to us, which is the Aries front suspension with the airbag system on it, which is a bit sort of Valtra unique. The rest of it, the styling and everything else, is very much along the 5th gen. So whether that's T, akin to the T as opposed to the S, which you probably appreciate will most likely, wouldn't say anything, would be the next one to be updated. But you know,
Well,
we'll come to that later.
So now this is the range topper, yeah?
Yeah, range topper Q305, so just 305 horsepower there, 5th gen with the 5 on the end there. Go down all the way to 225. So we're starting the base entry as a Q225. 5 roller range models there, right the way to 305.
No, I think we established earlier here when we were first introduced, this tractor actually has the highest power to weight ratio in its horsepower class, doesn't it, in terms of kilograms per horsepower. It's right around 30 kilograms per horsepower, which is a hell of an output. You know,
and from what we've had and what the people have been talking about and where the machine's been seen out, certainly we've had some chance in the autumn cultivation season and so on. We're very pleased with it so far, what we've seen, okay?
So now the other part about this tractor, of course, is the fact that it's a step away for Valtra, because this now incorporates a familiar AGCO stable transmission. That you've gone away from the Valtra design transmission built in Finland to the German built version. Why? What's the benefit of it?
I think, if you like, we still very much work with a direct with a Valtra CVT. The limitations we have on that is basically the torque, the horsepower or the torque we can put through it. So it's at the top end of its design criteria. So next generation of direct, we may see that a bit bigger. But having said that, we have that available through the stable.
Right.
There's no point in reinventing the wheel in that. It's a very well proven. I think there's over $250 million.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
So again, using that, like we do in the S series, so the top end, and also the markets move where we used to have a lot of power shift. You go back to the like old Magnums and stuff like that, where they were real cultivation but power shift units.
Yes,
now
right,
everybody wants in this sort of, because this tractor not only is just a primary cultivation tractor, it's got to do a lot of other things.
Yeah, exactly.
And so now they want a CVT.
It's for that control, exactly. And everybody's done it.
So everybody's gone that direction. So that fits in naturally. We've got something that's well proven. Match that to our software, the control, smart touch, the ergonomics,
which of course is a beautiful system, very well orchestrated. And to be very honest with you, Valtra make an incredible product. They really do. It's one of the highest spec products there is, I think. But personally, I absolutely love the things. What can we look forward to seeing in the next year or so? Give me a little bit of an inspiration.
Little insight.
Little sneaky.
Right, little sneaky. I'll give you 2 little sneakies. Right, we've gone 4th, 5th, so you're going to be guessing it's going to be a 6th generation product coming.
Good.
Nothing else this year. No. So the next ones will potentially be 24 onwards.
Right.
Usually start with the biggest, so there you are, you can have that sneak on there. The other thing that will be very interesting, which a lot of the manufacturers have been involved with, is what is going to be alternative fuels, different drive systems, how that's going to come in the future.
I was just going to come to you about that.
That, at the moment, I can't stand up here and tell you what it's going to be. There's various people tried different things. There's going to be hybrid setups, I think, working forward.
I think
that's what I think. There'll be a great lot of shall we say, information coming from the manufacturers over this next year, 18 months.
It's interesting that you're the second person that said that about today, you know, alternative fuels, because let's face it, at the end of the day, it's coming, isn't it? You know, we can put our heads in the sand for all we like, but it's a coming, and I think the way that things are being set up anyway. Yes, so anything else we should know about this tractor while we're here?
Nothing more about the tractor, as usual, because we like customising stuff.
Yes.
We have 1 or 2 things on the Unlimited on the stand.
Right,
and we've also got the cutaway cab here as well, which has got something new called Valtra View.
Right.
Okay, so
tell me a little bit about that.
This on here, we talk about safety, we talk about where we're going for the future, and you can see that lovely Lena's talking through on here. You can see on there.
Yeah.
People recognition, so from a safety aspect, so proximity sensing, looking at people around the tractors and the cabs. So
another level of intelligence.
So that's something for the future.
Safety.
I mean, we have our normal safety cameras which you can fit from the factory and Unlimited, but for example here, it's quite nice, you can see it on the screen there, picking up the people around the tractor. So again, you think about around the yard, coming out on junction, all that sort of safety stuff that we have on modern vehicles nowadays. We need that in farming.
So how does it work? Does if it recognises somebody, does it stop the machine? Does it just warn the operator? How does that work?
You've got in there, you've got audible warnings that will come in there. You've got, I think, from an autonomous driving sort of setup, not quite there. It might be similar. There will be, I think, for the future where it will actually apply the brakes and stuff like that, like you have, for example, on adaptive cruise and stuff like that on cars.
Understood.
But I think at the moment it's just an awareness system in there. Well, that's the first stage from there. I look forward to seeing what they're going to do with things like that, because it's going to be
this is obviously a technology that other people are exploring.
Yeah.
You know, it just happens that you seem to have it out here. Well, it's the first time we've seen it.
Yeah. No, it's the first time I've seen it as well.
It is absolutely. I mean, we're in amazing times at the moment.
Yeah.
But there's so many things changing in this industry. Technology is blowing everybody away.
Well, the productivity we've got to get out of these machines now, the cost of ownership, all those other things that we've got in there, economics that we're in at the moment, those sort of stuff. So you've got to get everything you can out of that machine.
It's a changing industry, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, it really is.
Andy, I want to just thank you very much for giving us a run around today.
You're welcome, as always.
It's time to move on.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Otherwise, we'll be talking all day.
Yeah. Thanks, Andy. As many of you will know, the name Bobcat is one of the most familiar and arguably famous names in the materials handling market. Here at LAMMA 2023, the company has given us a preview of a new telehandler which is going to be coming to the market a little later on. And to tell us a little bit about it, I'm going to talk to Florian Hilbert, who is the product manager for telehandlers. Florian, tell me about this machine.
Yes, sure. So here, this is our super compact model. So it is a TL25.60, 25 for 2.5 ton of capacity, and 60 for 6 meter lifting height.
Right.
So we have a machine of a width of 1.84 meters,
yes, sir,
and a height of 1.93 meters.
So it's a really compact machine.
Really compact machine and huge maneuverability. We have the best turning radius of the market.
Right.
Like the Lynx, you know, the Bobcats are very agile.
So yeah, so the tightest turning circle, you're saying? Yeah. Right,
yes.
That's awesome, brilliant.
Exactly, yes.
So what are the features that are going to really make this a standout machine? Tell me a bit about it.
The first thing is that when you can open, you have a wide opening with nearly 90 degrees, and you can easily get in and get out of the cabin.
Very good cab access.
Very good cab access. So then after you can benefit from the same machine, the same cabin than our biggest telehandler, the 18 meters. So it is really spacious and comfortable cabin. Right. It's not because it's a super compact that we should compromise the comfort of the cabin.
So by using the cabin from the larger machines, you're ensuring that the operator's always you're going to get that level of comfort for a long day's work that you would expect from the bigger Bobcats.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
So walk us around this side. What have we got in terms of engine and performance and transmission? What are we in those departments?
So it's a hydrostatic transmission.
Yes.
And in terms of engine, we have a Bobcat-made engine. So it's a D24 already used on our loaders.
Right. What horsepower is it, sir?
It's a 75 horsepower.
75 horsepower
motor. I can show you. We have a 75 horsepower, 2.4 liters, 4 cylinders.
Right.
And you can see the very, very good access to main component, to the oil filters, and all the alternators, the fuse box. You have the everything.
Everything is on this side of the engine.
Exactly.
Very well designed. Yes.
Yeah.
And you say hydrostatic transmission. Is that a single-speed hydrostatic, two-speed hydrostatic?
There is 2 speeds: the turtle and a jackrabbit.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
Hare and the tortoise.
One important point also we have to mention is the versatility of the machine. Here you have the most versatile super compact telehandler of the market, because we were able to fit the Bobcat carriage, and thanks to this carriage we are able to benefit from all the range of attachment of the loaders.
Wow, so you can use the complete range of equipment with this compact loader within this size?
Nearly all range, yes.
Really?
Nearly all range. So more than 80 attachments.
So when can we expect to see this thing arriving in the UK?
In the UK it would be, so you can see coming soon, because the production will start in April this year. Right. And first deliveries will be May, June.
May and June, yeah?
Yeah, May or June.
You heard it here, folks. First, folks. May or June, you'll be able to get your hands on what's considered the most versatile compact telehandler on the market. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah.
I am now going to rob your microphone because I'm going to go and talk to your colleague over here. So thank you very much. Yeah. I do appreciate it. No expense spared here at Lamp Power TV, as you can see. Right there. Alistair, right. You are the man in charge, apparently, of ground care equipment for the Bobcat ranges.
That's right.
Tell us a little bit about this new tractor. Where's it come from?
Okay, yeah, so we launched this at LAMMA Show in October.
Right.
So this is the first UK showing.
Okay.
So hot off the press, brand new, we're very excited about it. So we have launched this in 9 different models. There's various versions available with the cab or without the cab. We have lots of different attachments and implements available for the front, the mids and the rear of the machine.
Okay.
And different tyre options. So you've got a choice of turf tyres for ground care applications, agricultural tyres and industrial tyres. So
is this a 4-wheel drive?
It is a 4-wheel drive.
Can you get it in 2-wheel drive?
Yes, you can on the smaller models. And then on this one, this is a hydrostatic model. We also offer manual transmission options as well.
And what sort of horsepower? You say there's a number of models. What sort of horsepower range are we talking about?
Yeah, so we start from the 25 horsepower. This one is the 35 horsepower.
Right.
And we're going to go right up to the 58 horsepower.
So this will be your mid-ranger?
It will.
Now the cab, I noticed we've got a double opening cab door. It's a lot of room, It's easy access.
You can approach it from both sides, yep.
In terms of implements and attachments on the back, you've got a full range of Bobcat implements. What are the Bobcat implements that you can use with it?
Yeah, so this one is the tiller. We also have a flail cutter, finishing mower. We have seeders. We have lots of different. We have mowers.
Now, haven't you just bought a mower company recently? Did they not acquire?
Yes, we also acquired a Bobcat mower company a couple of years ago, and again, the mowers will be coming into the UK in the next few months.
So we can expect to see those here. So, is this tractor available for order now? Is it available in the UK as we speak?
It's available right now. The machines will start coming in the coming weeks, and the mowers will be around 4 to 5 months.
Right. Mate, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Pleasure to speak to you.
And you, sir.
Thank you very much.
There you have it, folks.
Right, ladies and gents, now time to talk to basically the lubrication specialist that is Morris Lubricants. So I'm now joined by Mark Brighty from the company, who's gonna, tell us about, well, we'll start with your latest product, the AgriMax product.
So the AgriMax range has been developed for our agricultural sector. It covers everything from the engine oil all the way through to the axles, including transmissions, hydraulics and everything in between. So there are suitable products for pretty much every compartment within the tractor, from, like I say, the engine through to the transmission and back end. In the modern day, it's not a case of one product fits all.
I was going to say, not like before, let's have a chuck a bit of that in, we'll away we go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So obviously the latest technology is moving away from using universal tractor oils.
Yeah.
Because obviously the latest emission standards, the new tier 5, tier 6s that are coming out in the modern technology, with those tractors, you can't just put anything in there.
No.
You've got to be very careful, because you're going to poison DPFs, you're going to ruin catalysts, you're going to start to coke the engines up, and then the efficiency drops, and before you know it, you've got a vehicle that's worth a lot of money that's not making you any money.
That's it. And likewise with modern transmissions, we see a lot more continuously variable transmissions, things like that are probably a lot more sensitive to what's being put in them and things like that.
Yeah. Got to avoid your slippage in your transmissions now. Your wet brakes as well, for instance, you've got to avoid slip on those, and then you get chatter. So you've got to make sure you've got the right additives in them to stop that. You've got limited slip diffs, so they've got to be working 100%. They've got to avoid getting hot, because otherwise you're going to start to get slippage again, and then you start to lose control of the vehicle. So it's all about making sure you're using the right product, keeping it working properly, and keeping it at optimum efficiency ranges.
Absolutely. And speaking of efficiency and keeping on top of maintenance, things like that, have you guys got any top tips?
The first one would be to make sure you're changing your engine oil or your oils in your vehicle as often as possible, so maintaining your service intervals. It's not all about price, so make sure that you're buying a quality product. That doesn't mean price comes into it, because if Fendt or Massey Ferguson or John Deere are telling you to put a specific product in of a specific quality range, you've got to be using it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise your warranty could be void. But making sure you put that in. Now, the way we can get around that is that you can talk to our technical experts in our technical department, make sure you get the right oil for the right application, but then also think about how does that then impact what I'm doing, because that's where it comes back down to making sure you hit your service intervals correctly, because your oil may not work correctly, keeping the vehicle in its efficiency ranges for periods of time, and then your vehicle, before you know it, like I say, it breaks down.
Spot on, Mark.
No worries.
Thank you very much for your time.
Have a good day.
So last year, Land Power TV had the privilege to go and visit the manufacturing site for Merlo telehandlers in Italy. During that time, we've also, the additional privilege you had was to meet the founder of Merlo, which was Mr. Amilcar Merlo, who was the person who designed the first Merlo telehandlers and all the things they did. Regrettably, since then, Mr. Merlo himself has passed away, and Land Power TV would, just before we start, like to express our condolences to the Merlo family. Now, moving on. This is a Merlo MultiFarmer. The MultiFarmer has been with us for about 20 years. Arguably one of the most adaptable and versatile telehandler designs on the market. It has just been given a new lease of life. To find out more about it, I'm going to introduce you to Owen Buttle, who is the National Sales Manager for Merlo UK. Yep. Owen, tell us about this machine.
No, thank you, Simon. So, obviously, like you say, the MultiFarmer has been part of the product range now for nearly 20 years. Recently, probably about 6 months ago, we actually sort of relaunched an upgraded version of the machine.
Right.
Historically, we've always had two models. So we've had a sort of 3-ton machine and a 4-ton machine.
Right, yeah.
So both of them have now been upgraded. So we've now gone 3.4 ton and 4.4 ton.
Right,
so we're giving the customer a lot of extra capacity on the lifting side of things.
Right.
But along with that, we've also increased the horsepower on them.
So we've got more power as well.
We've got more power.
Yep.
The smaller model, you're 140 horsepower.
Right.
And then on the bigger model that we see here, it's 170 horsepower.
Really?
So we've gone to an Iveco engine.
Wow.
170 horsepower. So really sort of cranked it up on that side of things.
Right.
The machine that we've got here is the top of the range specification that we offer.
Right.
So this is the 44.9.
Okay.
It comes with cab suspension, so it's a patented design to Merlo.
Yeah, which we can see here.
And it also comes as standard with all of your boom suspension, aircon. We've gone LED lights on the machine. And we've also had some cosmetic upgrades with the mud guards, like I say, going to the LED lights as well.
Right.
So one of the things with Merlo, again, it's something that comes standard on the MultiFarmer, as it comes with the ASCS screen, which you can see inside the cab.
Yes, sir.
And this gives you a live load chart of the machine. So it will always tell you what the parameters are in terms of lifting capacities, the capabilities of what you can lift at a certain position of the boom.
And that's live all the time. That's right as it's happening.
All the time. It gives you live information. And likewise, it works with the stability of the machine to stop you from putting the machine in a position where it could become unstable.
Right, yeah, it's a safety,
so it's a safety feature. And, and for us as Merlo, we pride ourselves on innovation and safety.
Yes.
Hence we're the first manufacturer to come out with a machine with a 3-point linkage on the back and a PTO shaft. Like I say, with the screen there, if you do get into that position of instability, it will follow the operator through a process of being able to retrieve the machine into a safe position. So it's a nice, simple, straightforward system.
Now, one of the things about the MultiFarmer is that makes it a unique machine is the fact that at the back of it, it's essentially a tractor. You've got full 3-point linkage and PTO and everything else. Explain just a little bit that. Are there some changes here? Are any developments here? Talk about the spec that we have here.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, the back end of the machine is very similar to the previous models.
Right.
It all obviously complies to the mother regulations in terms of your braking systems that you need. So you've got your dual line braking systems. You've also got additional rear hydraulic on there.
Right.
And then you've got a UK style pickup hitch.
Right.
Hydraulically operated. And then along with your PTO shaft that runs out of the back end here.
Now, is that a mechanically driven or hydraulic driven PTO?
That is a mechanically driven PTO.
PTO, so good thing.
Yep.
Linkage lift capacity?
You can have it as a Cat 2 or a Cat 3.
Right.
So you've got the option there, depending on how you're using the machine.
Right, so in terms of spools, what have we got hydraulically at the back?
Hydraulic-wise, on the back end, so all of what we've got here is relating to your double acting pickup hitch, and then you've got your additional service there for any implements that you want to run on the back end.
So what, have you got 2 spools on the back that you can use? Or
yes,
just,
yeah, we've got 2 spools on the back, and then you've got your dual line braking system as well.
Right, so you, in terms of what sort of hydraulic output, because this machine obviously be able to lift this much and run this much, what are we talking in terms of hydraulic pump output?
Hydraulic pump output, you're looking at about 100 litres per minute on that side of things.
Right, cool.
Obviously, predominantly we're looking at driving any implements off of the PTO shaft that we've got there. So really for us, you know, there's a lot of farms out there, they need a telehandler, but they also need a backup and support machine for the tractors during the busy periods. And this really sort of provides a good all-round multi-tool machine with a number of purposes, a number of uses. Yeah, so FPT, 170 horsepower, and this is all compliant to the latest stage of engines that need to be.
So is that stage 5?
It's a stage 5 engine, which is the latest emission standard. So you're using AdBlue, you've got your DOC and your DPF system.
And what size is it? Like 4.5 litre? What capacity is it?
4.5 it would be.
Yeah. And I noticed as well the way it's configured in this. We've seen this more and more. I think it's at an angle, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. So if you close the bonnet down, you can actually see that the engine canopy actually tapers in. So you've got really good visibility down the side, but also the machine's within the rubber of the machine as well.
Yeah, so nothing's extending outside.
So nothing's coming out of where the tyres are. So again, from a damage point of view, it's very good.
In terms of availability, is it available now?
Yeah, machine's available now. We've got a fleet of demonstrators that are running around the country. So we've got both sizes available for demonstrations, and machines available to order for delivery this year.
Well, I'll tell you what. I mean, there you have it, folks. You can get one now. They've got demonstrators in the country. The versatility of this machine is actually unparalleled, really. Certainly a very clever concept. Thank you very much for having a chat with me today.
Yeah, no problem.
Enjoy the show.
Yeah, we'll do.
We'll see you soon. Okay, you join us now on the stand of JF Hudson. If you're a regular subscriber or a regular watcher of Land Power TV, you'll know James Hudson because he's been on the channel many, many times. So we thought we'd come along and see what the company has got on offer today at LAMMA. And I'm going to start right here with this crop roller. Tell us a little bit about this, mate.
So this is a 1.6 metre wide roller, goes on the front of the tractor, ahead of a baler for pressing down the straw or silage as it's going under the tractor. This was something I started making last year. And previously to making this, I didn't see the need for them.
Right.
And I spoke to a friend who's a contractor, and between us, we couldn't work out where the return on investment was for this piece of equipment. But then built one, and in fairness, I'm converted. It's absolutely incredible the difference it makes. Consistent baler feed, frustration-free baling. So it's not getting caught under the tractor. It's not balling up. It's just going into the baler as it should be.
This is essentially then you're pressing the crop down. We've seen this. It's pressing the crop down. This is so you don't have to be dragging sheets and stuff under the drawbar to prevent it doing.
Yeah.
Big wide swaths. So it means you can get more swath in the baler essentially, does it?
Yeah. Combines have got wider.
Absolutely.
So the swaths have got bigger. But the tractor, the space under a tractor, even though the tractor's got bigger, hasn't got bigger relative to the size of the swath.
No.
So now we're trying to fit more straw under a tractor than ever before.
So now is this your design specifically?
Yeah.
So it's your design?
Yeah. So I draw everything on SolidWorks.
Right.
So before we make anything, before we cut any steel, it all gets drawn in 3D. So I can try and make sure I don't make any cock-ups, to be honest. And then we get a stack of laser cut steel and weld it together, and we get something like this.
Right. So why the design here? Why have you made that? Is that to sort of so it feet? Is it following the form of the swath? I mean, is that the idea?
So naturally, sort of your sides are lower anyway. So we're trying to press down the top and sort of get it down in the middle, and more than
to retain the shape of the swath.
Yeah, and as much as anything, these teeth are to get it turning. So when you pull out of a swath and you go into the next one, it just starts rolling.
You want it to spin straight away.
Yeah.
Obviously, if it doesn't spin, it's going to ball up the swath. Bulldoze it.
Yeah. And I mean, in fairness, there's quite a bit of weight in that, but it doesn't take a lot to get it rolling. And because of the weight, when you pull out of a swath, by the time you've got back into the next swath, it's still rotating.
Right.
It takes a bit to slow down. So it's not like it's stopping dead and then starting again.
Now, I know that you specialise in making these frames and stuff that suit for boxes, so, you know, with the ball spools here and net wrap and all this sort of stuff. Is this something that it can be incorporated into one of these designs?
Yeah, so this one specifically is both a compact front box, which will mount on the front linkage when the arms are folded up, and then if you bolt the crop roller on and the twine racks, it goes on the 3-point linkage to be a crop roller. The reason being that with the arms folded up, obviously the box is closer to the tractor, so it's easier to live with. But then when you need it in a crop roller, you need to be able to have that height to be able to get up what you need to get above the swath.
Right.
You need to be able to lift and lower it as required, which you can't just do as easily when the arms are folded up.
Now, in terms of cost here, that's the price for the whole thing as we see it?
As you see it, that's the price,
That's good value for money, really, isn't it, I think, considering, you know...
Yeah, we're trying to,
cost of steel and everything else today.
We're trying to compete, to be honest.
Well, there you know, that you'll know where to come and buy your crop roller. Now, what's interesting here is that JF Hudson is also the sole importer of Swaperi equipment from Italy into the UK, isn't it? Yeah. So now, there's a machine over here that you were talking to me about before we went on camera. Tell me a little bit about this.
So this is a 2-row, one-person transplanter.
Right.
So most transplanters will have one person per row, but this machine, you just have one person feeding 2 rows. And so your person sits here, feeds all these little pots, and as it goes round, it drops the first plant in the first row. So it comes round here, drops the first one here, and then carries the second one round to here and drops it in here.
Right.
And you can. One good thing about this is you can very easily alter the row spacing.
Okay.
Within sort of 15 minutes, you could have altered the distance between the centres of the rows.
Right, and this is part of a range of equipment that obviously Swaperi's provided. Swaperi are known actually for their tobacco equipment, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's what their big thing is. So tell me a little bit about this while we're here as well.
So this is a weeder. So this is where the whole Swaperi job started. And so I went to see them in Italy and said, look, I think there's a market for these machines in the UK, and I did a deal with them to be the UK sole distributor for them. And so this is the machine we've sold most of. And it's used in all sorts of cut flowers, pumpkins, Christmas trees, strawberries, and it basically it's weeding the bit in between the plants as you go along the row.
Yeah, either hydraulically or mechanically, yes?
Yes.
Well, I just want to say thank you very much for giving us a little tour around today. What you got on there? Absolute pleasure to see you again, and no doubt we'll be seeing him soon on Land Power TV.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Mzuri is a name that's recognised as one of the most progressive and popular direct seed drill manufacturers in the United Kingdom. The newest machine to join the Mzuri portfolio is the iPass, which represents a new concept in direct drill design. Here to talk to us a little bit more about the drill is Mzuri's territory sales manager, Josh Allen.
What I'm going to do is we're going to start from a sort of front to back, give you a bit of an idea of what we're trying to achieve from this drill. Right, so what we've done, most people that we've got are running this with the swan neck on.
Right.
So now what we're finding with this is it gives you a really, really good control over the initial height and depth setting of the machine.
Right.
And gives you a lot more control and sort of versatility of turning everything that way.
Right, okay.
So the swan neck purely goes straight onto the linkage machine, onto the link arm, the machine, yeah. And then we set a depth wheel so that as more weight is loaded through here, it can automatically lift up, if necessary, stopping the machine from nose diving, anything that way.
Does it also help to transfer weight onto the tractor or take weight off the tractor?
It just takes weight off the tractor, making it a nice, easier pull through. Right. So it means that you're not trying to overload it with too much horsepower in the grand scheme of things as well. Okay. Now, most of the business end of the drill obviously is happening through the coulters here.
Right.
Now, this is a 4.8 metre machine, and that's 18 coulters.
Right.
All the coulters are parallel linkage.
Right.
So as you can see from here, if you come up, all of them will independently move throughout.
All right, I got that, yeah.
You'll have to pull your muscles out for that one.
I'll leave that to you. I'm only a mere presenter. You carry on.
So through what we're trying to achieve here, the discs are an option on this machine, but we find that actually to utilise this machine to the best of its ability, running that disc is really helpful in an aid to firstly move trash out the way and cut trash, allowing this front primary coulter here to give the best sort of tilt and everything that we're trying to achieve. So as this front coulter is coming through, it's breaking that initial crust of soil, giving us a little bit more tilt there. So when the seed coulter here is laying the seed for the reconsolidation, we're guaranteeing soil to seed contact.
Right.
And what that does is that gives it obviously the best chance possible from the off. Again, having the parallel linkage through the whole machine there guarantees depth control through multiple contour levels and everything that way. We're running these wheels here at about 12 psi across the board. That means that really, if it does pick up any weight or anything at all, any mud on there, it'll actually self-clean really easily and be able to keep you moving in slightly wetter conditions that way also.
So I noticed on here as well, because this is a seed and fertiliser drill, isn't it? So your seed comes on your primary tine.
Yeah, sorry.
And I mean, your fertiliser on the primary tine, seed comes on in the back, yeah.
So we are able to band place fertiliser with this as well through our 5,000 litre tank. Now it's a 60-40 split, so you've got 40% fertiliser there, and like we said a minute ago, it's coming nicely down through into the primary coulter here, meaning that all fertiliser is band placed exactly where you're going to want it, again, to give that seed the best chance possible moving forward.
Yeah.
Now, seeds in the back, and that's coming back through the secondary coulter here as well, and then reconsolidated by the wheel.
Right.
What we've done with this tank is it's a pressurised tank, which is a bit misleading to an extent, because what it actually does is it neutralises the pressure the whole way through the drill. And the way that works is we pump air into the tank,
right,
and that will, again, like I said, neutralise the pressure the whole way through, meaning that there's no back pressure coming, so you're going to get a nice constant feed of seed coming through, almost like water running through a pipe. So as you're coming through at any speed, we do state about 16 to 18k drilling speed with this. We can guarantee seed placement exactly where you want it. Having the tine option in this gives you the ability to go in multiple different conditions.
Yeah. Now, what sort of horsepower are we talking to pull this particular drill?
To pull this particular drill, you're looking at around 200 horsepower, really, and that means that's 4.8 metres over 200 horsepower.
So coming around the back of the drill, what other features are there on this?
Coming around the drill, we've got a really nice double harrow bar on this. That's just leaving you with a really nice level finish. So as you're going through, and you come through a roll after, you're going into a really nice level finished off seed bed.
How are we dealing with pre-emergent spout marking and stuff like that on tram lining?
So we've got with the tram liners, you can have this machine with and without tram liners on.
Right.
Quite a few people now are going through and they're putting the tram lines in with the tractor after, so they can just get on and drill the whole lot. But if you need row shut off, it's all built into the seed pipes here.
Right.
So with the control box that we utilise, you put in exactly what tram liners you want in, and it will do also shut off. It is isobus ready as well, but it does come with its own box if you don't have isobus on your tractor there.
Right, good. That's good to know. Josh, thank you so much for talking to me today.
You're more than welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, mate.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That concludes our coverage of the LAMMA Show 2023 right here at the NEC in Birmingham. As ever, it was just a flavour. I mean, hats off to the show organisers this year for this event. There's been so many manufacturers, exhibitors here. We could have spent a fortnight here and still not seen them all. So hopefully what we've just done for you guys, hopefully that's a little bit of a flavour for you. Hope you found it interesting, Simon.
Yes, absolutely, and I just want to reiterate it. I also want to just add a big thank you, because I've got to say the response we've had to Land Power TV has been overwhelming.
It is. It
has. We've had the vendors and exhibitors here have made us feel very welcome. We've had people standing around us while we're filming. People come up to us and saying, "Oh, hello, you guys are from Land Power TV. I watch you." It's been absolutely. It's took us both by surprise.
Well, that's it, and you know, it's worth bearing in mind. We're still, I mean, Land Power TV, as in the business, at the brand. It's still early days yet. We're only 18 months into this job. It's still a bit of a whippersnapper, wet behind the ears. But like Simon said, it's just been one epic response.
The only thing that was missing, and we all agreed with this, was we just wish some of the big fellas, some of the would be back, wouldn't we?
That's all it's missing. He wants the big boys back, and then this event will pretty much be complete then, won't it?
This will return to where it used to be. This will be the Agri-Technica, if you like, of
UK
the
Technica.
The UK Technica. There you go.
So yeah, John Deere, Class, New Holland, all you guys that aren't here, JCB, come on, come back, come and have a look. And yeah, it would be good.
It would be good. Yeah, but once again, I just say well done, everybody, and thanks very much for all the support you've given Land Power TV. And we hope to see more of you in the future. We've got lots of programmes planned.
We have.
Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. That's extremely important.
Absolutely. It is set to be a bloody good year, 2023. I mean, just while we've been at LAMMA, we've had manufacturers literally throwing machines at us for the upcoming season. Sure. So it should be good.
And on that note, we're going home.
Right. See you.
Ta-da.